7 minutes in Intermodal.
All right, welcome back to 7 Minutes in Intermodal. This is episode number 6, and I'm here now with another good friend of mine, Brett Solomano, Guinness World Book Record holder, stuntman, and entrepreneur, but he's also not afraid to get in the truck if he needs to. Brett, man, this is great. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here and having me here, and always happy to chat trucks. I do love trucks. Spent a lot of time driving trucks across the US and across Australia, and a few times in films and TVs as well. There's something just fun about driving trucks, and now I've moved into the business systems of owning my own business in the trucking industry over the past few years. So it's good times, man. I do enjoy it. So thanks for letting me talk about it.
No, of course. And I think most people are going to ask, or what I would ask, is about the Guinness World Book Record.
Yeah, so
What is it?
I was a CDL instructor for a little bit, and we would challenge each other as instructors to try and show off to the students. And you have to back it into a box like you do for your DDS or your DMV test. And we would always see if we could challenge ourselves to go faster. And we realized one day that we could put a tractor trailer in a high range,
Yeah.
put in high range in reverse, and throw it in that box at 10, 20 miles an hour in reverse. And then the next thing led to what is the world record for how fast we can go in reverse. And now I hold the world record, 55 and a third miles in 4 hours, which is an average speed of 14 miles an hour for
All
4 hours
right.
in a 53-foot trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw the article somewhere when I think it was on LinkedIn or something like that. And that's just one of the things you do aside from entrepreneurship, stuntman. I mean, that whole piece is so intriguing. And obviously, you're from Australia as well, so coming here, starting the business, getting into the industry. I mean, there's no script here. And one thing I never asked you is, how was it getting into the industry here in the U.S. not being from here?
Um, the US it's the third biggest population in the world as far as country goes, and so
Okay.
it's a huge ocean of possibility. Good and bad things, and if you are not in tune with who you are, you're gonna end up in weird places
Sure.
geographically, and different companies and whatever else is not going to feel right. But there's so many amazing opportunities in the US. There's so many things happening, so many innovations, so many different cities that have millions of people, all with different personalities, and it really has taught me to listen to who I am and really tune into that. Every
Right.
day is something different, and just moving forward with my own goals, having fun, and making money, serving people along the way. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. And you and I have gotten to know each other throughout the, I guess, 2 years or so. And we always throw new ideas around. There's always something
yeah.
going on. And I know from a trucking aspect, you started the trucking company, you ran that, you did rentals and such, but also you'll get behind the wheel as well. I know you've moved different commodities, different types of trailers, but in terms of containers, what is it that you've seen? What's difficult? What's easy?
What's difficult and what's easy? I mean, containers are just they're quite simple, really. I think, and some people might disagree with me, but a
Right.
shipping container is, since they were invented, whenever it was, I think 50, 70 years ago, in that kind of range, they're just this universal shaped, or multiple shapes, but they're all universal, and they go across the country and around
Sure.
the world. And to that, there's a beauty to that efficiency and that universality and the simplicity that I love. Um, and the trick is just getting in with a good carrier, or getting in with a good dispatcher or a good company to run those loads, and then things just start moving. And as a truck company owner, I'm always just trying to keep it as close to 100% moving time as possible. I don't need to run it
Right.
24 hours a day, but during working hours, keep it running. Avoid downtime, keep the drivers happy, keep them moving, and do what I can. And so, to me, there's a beauty in the simplicity of that, where I'm not chasing all these different loads all across the country. Over the road truck driving is something totally different. But I
Right.
do enjoy that intermodal aspect for the efficiency of the systems that I can create. Yeah.
And being in Atlanta, but I know you've lived in California, some other places, but on the drayage side, was it mainly in Georgia that you were working, or?
Yeah, I've done containers in Melbourne, back in Australia a little bit,
Oh,
and also
really?
in
Okay.
California. Yeah, or just driving. When I moved to
Yeah.
Atlanta, I started my truck business. I wanted to expand my skills and opportunities for money and being in the community and soaking up. I love learning, so having a business really forces that upon you in many ways. And yeah, I've started my truck business a few years ago. I think it was 3 years ago in Atlanta, and there's been some up and down cycles since then, but it's been really beautiful. Atlanta's like a big hub for a southeast for rail and for, even though it's inland, for the ports in Savannah and South Carolina as well.
Sure. And what's one of the biggest differences in running it in Australia and running it in Georgia
I think it's kind
specifically?
of, they're really similar at the end of the day.
Similar?
We can joke about driving on the correct side of the road and different things
Yeah.
like that. But and Australia uses some cab over trucks a little bit more than the US
Sure.
does.
Sure.
So there's
Yeah. Most of the
legislation, there's
countries.
rules, but a truck is a truck, and so if you look at it like that, an engine's an engine, fuel is fuel, and you're moving it from A to B, and you just have to play the game with the regulators and keep the truck moving as much as possible. Look after your drivers. So to that extent, if you see past the superficiality, there isn't that much difference. Yeah.
Yeah. And one last question as we wrap up. What's your company's called Running Solo LLC?
hmm
What's one thing, if anything, you would want the intermodal world to know about you and your company and what y'all do?
I just love to keep it as efficient as possible. I look for efficiency. That's the mental challenge that I love. How quickly or how efficient can I keep things? And so that's what I would want my dispatchers and my carriers that I work for to know. I'm looking to make it efficient, keep the money in our pockets as much as possible, and keep those trucks running.
Nice. Brett, thanks for coming on, man. This was great. Let's see what other records you can break so that we can do a few more episodes. We'll try to calculate something going.
I got a few more in mind, man. Let's put something together.
All right. All right, Brett. Appreciate it. And we'll be in touch, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, John. Appreciate